Breakfast bus check बारी फिर सबका स्वागत है. I hope you had a nice week and I hope you have a nice week ahead as well. जिस तरह ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਦੱਸਨੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਲੋਕਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਿੰਗ ਲੋਕਲ ਹੈਪਨਿੰਗਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੈ. ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 'ਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਬਾਈ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੋਏ ਅੰਟੈਰੀਓ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਵੌਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਕਿਚਨਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਅੰਟੈਰੀਓ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੀ ਮੈਜੋਰਿਟੀ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਸਕੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਵੌਨ ਦੀ ਸੀਟ ਤੇ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਸਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਸੀ. ਉਹ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਰਿਟੇਨ ਕਰਨ 'ਚ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਰਹੇ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ ਕਿ ਕਿਚਨਰ ਵਾਟਰਲੂ ਦੀ ਸੀਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਪੀਸੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਕੈਪਚਰ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਗੇ, ਉਹ ਸੀਟ ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਨੇ ਕੈਪਚਰ ਕੀਤੀ. ਅਸੀਂ ਲਿਮਿਟਡ ਰਿਸੋਰਸਿਸ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਤਹਿਤ ਦੋਵੇਂ ਪਾਸੇ ਤੇ ਕਵਰਿੰਗ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ. ਸੋ ਵੀ ਡਿਸਾਈਡਡ ਟੂ ਗੋ ਟੂ ਵੌਨ and cover the after election victory party event जिस मुखिंटी साहब आए और उन्होंने भी स्पीच की थी. ओदी असी तुहानू एक फिल्म रिपोर्ट दिखाने जा रहे हैं. आई होप यू लाइक इट.
Numbers go up, up, up. Yeah!
Well, let me welcome you all here to Vaughan Road Riding President. And while those numbers are looking good, you know what's looking even better? That food gets on the table. So it is now available. Please go and help yourselves and enjoy.
Every week there's a beautiful something else. Should be happy. Yeah. I had some of it. We were out here. Well, we know that we're going to take it. I knew I do. Later because you never give me beat. But our here, all the Italians come out to work. That's a good thing. Some of the area people never shoot.
mes chers amis, cari amici, it's not quite the Democratic National Convention, but tonight my heart absolutely leaps. I want to tell all of you, as I leave this job and make way for an absolutely stellar candidate, I want to begin by saying thank you to every single person in this room. Some of you, we've been working together for a lot of years. And some of you are just on your first or second campaign. But I want to tell you, I am so touched by the words that you have spoken to me tonight. These will live with me and raise my spirits every single day of my life. Now I want you to hear this. We've had a pretty good 9 years in Vaughan over the course of getting the subway built, and getting the hospital approved, and getting our schools there. But there's a lot more to do, and the guy that's going to do this work is absolutely a stellar, wonderful man. I have to tell you a little story. In just a minute, the Premier and Stephen are going to come in, but it was just about 8 years ago when Stephen and I had a little chat about his future, and he said, well, maybe one day I'd like to be a member of provincial parliament. I want to say to the people of Vaughan tonight, thank you for electing Stephen Del Duca. I see a tall guy who looks like the Premier of Ontario. The Premier of Ontario goes to Yankee and
tonight. Congratulations to you, the Stephen Del Duca team, and congratulations to the new MPP for Vaughan, Stephen. I'm going to say a few words, and then we're going to turn it over to our star, our newly elected MPP. And I'm going to begin with a few thank yous. First of all, I want to thank all those voters, both in this riding of Vaughan and in the riding of Kitchener-Waterloo, who made the effort today to get out and vote. Every time you vote, you strengthen our democracy. In an age where we're all so very well connected with what is happening around the world, we all understand that there are some parts of this world where people are struggling, sacrificing, in some cases giving up their lives to have the right to vote. It's a wonderful privilege, it's a great honor, it's a tremendous responsibility. And once again, I thank all Ontarians who participated in our by-elections by voting. Thank you so much. I want to thank all the teams, all the parties who put up candidates. I want to thank all the candidates of all political stripes. I want to thank everybody who participated. Every time we have a by-election or an election, a general election, there's a healthy collision of ideas. There's an important opportunity for us to engage in a productive, healthy debate. And it gives Ontarians a better understanding of who we are, what we stand for, and where we'd like to take the province. So I thank all the teams, all the parties, but especially all the candidates who removed themselves from the comfort, convenience, and ease of the sidelines and stepped onto the ice, put on the equipment, and engaged in a very important democratic exercise. I want to thank Eric Davis in Kitchener-Waterloo, and I want to thank Stephen Del Duca right here for the wonderful, strong campaign that they both led. They both made us very, very proud. You reminded us that it's fundamentally not about programs and budgets and policies, it's about public service. It's about putting the people of Ontario first. It's never been about us, it's always been about them, their schools, their health care, their environment, their economy, their jobs, their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, their Ontario. And I thank you, Stephen Del Duca, for putting Ontarians first. You know, winning a by-election in government is never an easy thing at the best of times. And these are not the easiest of times. It's a more challenging time. We're called upon to find a way to both eliminate the deficit and balance the budget in a way that doesn't compromise the quality of our health care and education. In fact, we want to continue to make improvements in our schools and our health care. So I am very, very honored by the choice made by the people of Vaughan in electing Stephen Del Duca as our new... And I want to acknowledge the strong foundation built by one... longest serving MPPs, yes, and one of the loudest serving. Yes! All right, tonight is the night to celebrate. Tomorrow it is back to work. Yes. We've been called upon by the good people of Ontario, and we will always respect their choice with grace and enthusiasm. We will continue to work with the other two opposition parties. We will continue to find common ground. We will continue to strengthen this economy and create new jobs and improve even better still our schools, healthcare. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my liberal friends, it's my great privilege and honor to the newly elected MVP for Vaughan, Stephen Gilden.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is, I'm not going to lie to you, this is a little bit surreal right now. Just about 3.5 weeks ago, my nomination meeting took place right here in this same banquet hall, and I asked Greg that day from the podium if one ever gets used to seeing one's name on election signs across a riding like this, and he said, no, you don't really. The last 4 weeks has been an extraordinary experience. I want to say from the very bottom of my heart, thank you to every single one of you, and thank you to the thousands of women and men across our community of Vaughan for showing their support for my I want to begin by also saying thank you to the Premier. Thank you to Dalton McGuinty for being such Some of you will know that over the course of the last 28 days, the Premier made a couple of visits to our community, and I feel very blessed and very lucky that he was able to spend that time with us. We took him to a number of really terrific places in our community. He visited one of our really fantastic seniors clubs at Pine York. He was able to go to Village Ardino, Pine York. There's Rose out there. He was able to go up to Village Ardino. He was able to visit Fortino's and a few other places that we have in the community. And I was struck by a couple of really fascinating things. Number one was that when the Premier encountered someone from our community and spoke to them a little bit, be it at Fortino's or at one of the other locations, I was struck because I watched the people who were talking with the Premier. And I was struck by the sense, the understanding in their eyes. Once they got over the shock of realizing that our Premier was standing on their doorstep or in their grocery store, I realized that there was a very profound sense that he's an extremely genuine human being and an extremely genuine political leader, and that's a rarity. And I'm convinced that it's that attribute, above all else, that makes him the extraordinary Premier and leader that he is. And that was the first thing that I was struck by. And the second thing that I experienced, particularly at Village Ardino and at Pine York, the second thing that really struck me is that our Premier, Dalton McGuinty, speaks far better Italian than I do. It's true. But I did. Sempre liberale. The truth of the matter is I made a commitment at every seniors club and every building I went to, and every time I talk to people like Joanne and others, when I run for re-election, I promise I'm going to say a little bit more in Italian than I said in this campaign. But I want to thank the Premier for coming to the riding and for being there and for being the extraordinary leader that he is for our province and for delivering with the government, delivering the kind of results that have helped Vaughan move forward. I also want to say a couple of words about my predecessor, my mentor, my friend, Greg Sorbera. Our outstanding for so many years. Greg did such an extraordinary job for this community and for this province and for this party. And it just means a lot to me that he's been there for me throughout this campaign and for many years before this campaign. And the fact that he was able to help shape the growth of this community for so many years, help us achieve the construction of our subway, help us get the approval for our hospital, the building of 100 new schools across York, hospital in Because Greg was able to do that, it means so much that he's here tonight with me, and it means so much that he's done an extraordinary job. And he was out there today, just so everyone knows, out there pulling vote with me in East Woodbridge. We were knocking on doors, we were talking to people, and from the very first night of this campaign, as I knocked on doors on Chancellor, that's where I was on night number 1 of this campaign, it was apparent to me, and it wasn't that I needed any convincing of this, Greg, it was apparent to me that the level of admiration and respect and affection that our community in Vaughan feels for Greg is extraordinary, and it's well-deserved. It's true, we still love you. So there are lots of other people that I really should say thank you to, but you know, I know it's been a long day, so I just want to say to the campaign team, to Omar Khan, where's Omar in this room? Now I have some experience over the last 24 years or so, being involved in campaigns, managing campaigns, chairing campaigns. I have never seen a better campaign manager. I've never seen someone lead a team better in a campaign setting than Omar Khan did in this election, including myself, Omar, by the way. And through Omar to the rest of the campaign team that did such an extraordinary job, all of them had a really, really tough task starting in this campaign. Their job was for 28 days to make me look good, and that's not something that's easy to do, I gotta tell you. So thank you to the entire campaign team and all of the local volunteers who have been such staunch supporters of the Liberal Party in this community for so many years. People who really, really stood up, come forward, volunteered their time, and have done it for so many years. Thank you to the entire campaign team from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I have to say a special word of thanks, of course, to all the members of caucus, federal, provincial, current, past. It was fantastic to see all of your help over the course of the campaign. It really means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
We love you.
I also want to say a word of thanks, a very special word of thanks to my family. A number of members of my family are here tonight. I know my parents are in the room somewhere. I saw them a little while ago. I'm not sure where they are now. My parents, Ben and Margaret Downey. I want to thank them for all that they did to help make me and my brothers and sister the people that we are today. And I also want to especially thank them for deciding about 26 years ago that as nice as Etobicoke is and was, that perhaps they should move up here to this outstanding community in Vaughan. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all that you did for us and continue to do. I want to thank my brothers, Mark and Michael. I'm pretty sure they're both in the room tonight. Many of you will know Michael in particular. He was there in the campaign office every single day of the campaign, doing everything that needed to be done. And I want to thank Michael and his wife Amanda, Mark and his wife Nicole, my sister Lorraine and her family as well. And of course, I have to say a very, very, very special word of thanks to my wife. Utilia always hates it when I do what I'm about to do, but I feel like I can't resist the temptation. I met Utilia on March 24th, 2003. I didn't have to look that up. I have that memorized. I met her actually at a political fundraiser out in Scarborough. And a couple of days or a couple of weeks after we met that first time, we got together and had lunch. We had lunch at the Accents restaurant down at the Sutton Place. It was a fantastic lunch. I really enjoyed it. It was great. Actually, it felt like a little bit like a job interview, but that's okay. That's okay. Over the course of the lunch, Utilia said to me, so, what are your future plans? And I said to her, well, you know, I'm hoping to go to law school this coming fall, which turned out to happen and took place. I said, and one day, at some point in the future, when my dear friend Greg Severa decides that it's time to retire, I said this in 2000. I hope one day, I aspire one day to be the Liberal candidate and Greg's successor here in Vaughan. Told her that back in, I guess, early April 2003. And you know what? To her credit, she still married me. About 17 months later. And since that day, for all of those years, Utilia has stood beside me. She's been my inspiration. She's been my motivation. I love her deeply. And I'm looking forward to the next phase of our life together, this adventure that starts here tonight. Thank you. And somewhere out there in the audience are our two daughters, Talia, our 4.5-year-old, and Grace, our 16 or 17-month-old. Not sure where they are. I know they're out there. I've been telling residents across our community for the last 28 days that, among other things, the primary reason I threw my hat into the ring in this campaign was to make sure that this community, Vaughan, is as wonderful for them and for all of the kids across our community as it's been for me over the last 25 years. Like Utilia, they motivate me, they energize me, they're the reason I'm doing this, and they're the reason that I'm so happy that our community is continuing to move forward. I love them both very, very much, and I look forward to them growing up in this beautiful community called Vaughan. So, that one's upside down, you right?
We know who you are. Even upside down, we know.
So I'm getting very close to wrapping up. I just want to say that about 24, 25 days ago when I was in this banquet hall, my nomination, I talked about some of these themes or some of the issues that were important to me. And tonight I consider this a fantastic win for the Ontario Liberal Party and a fantastic team for me personally and our team here in Vaughan. But tonight's victory is also a victory and a win for the public education system in this community and across the province, and for the teachers who do the job in those public schools and do a phenomenal job in the partnership we've had over the last 9 years and will continue to have going forward. It's a victory for all of that. It's also a victory for the Vaughan Hospital. A project that's well underway, that's going to be in the ground as soon as we can possibly make it happen, thanks to the leadership locally of Greg and the leadership of Dalton McGuinty. It's a victory for the kind of investments in public infrastructure, be it the subway, GO Transit, roads, etc. It's a victory for all of that, and making sure we go in the same direction in the years to come. And lastly, it's a very clear victory for a hopeful, optimistic future for this community. We've all worked very hard for 28 days, and we've been rewarded with the privilege of representing the strongest community, I think, in the best province in the greatest country of the world. And tomorrow, my hard work on behalf of Vaughan begins, or continues, and our hard work as Ontario Liberals continues for the 12 or so million women and men who call this province home. I look forward to the challenges that our community faces. I look forward to working hard on behalf of the more than 300,000 people who call Vaughan home. And I just want to say, once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for your support and your friendship. Thank you.
Okay. One more.